We're back with the General and Shelby and Claire. Claire, let me read you this reporting in the Wall Street Journal. The well-timed trades made moments before Donald Trump's policy surprises. Quote, in late December and early January, a mystery trader placed about $34,000 on Venezuela-related bets, mainly on contracts that would pay off if Maduro lost power by the end of January. The final wager was placed at 9:58 p.m. Eastern Time on January 2nd. That's less than an hour before Donald Trump's order. Soon after, U.S. and Israeli forces began to strike Iran. Blockchain analytics from Bumble Maps identified a group of suspected insiders who made $1.2 million by wagering on a U.S. strike through Polymarket. Most of the accounts had bet on a strike by February 28th, which turned out to be the exact date of the operation. Most recently, there was a mysterious flurry of trading activity in oil and S&P 500 futures about 15 minutes before Donald Trump de-escalated tensions with Iran with a Monday morning post on Truth Social, which sent oil prices tumbling and stocks rallying. In a statement, a White House spokesperson named Kush Desai said, quote, all federal employees are subject to government ethics guidelines that prohibit the use of non-public information for financial benefit, blah, blah, blah. What is the American consumer paying more for gas every time they drive by to make of all these people getting, cuckoo rich, seemingly, potentially, possibly based on inside information?
Well, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. I mean, we're talking about the most corrupt administration in the history of our country. The enriching of his family on the backs of American policy and American power. If you look at what his sons are doing right now, they're racing around the globe, leveraging their father's position for billions and billions of dollars in profit. The crypto and the meme coin and all of the stuff that he's doing. And then you add on that, the whipped cream and cherry on all of this ugly ice cream sundae is his pardoning power. So if you are close to the president and you have information, you're not worried about going to jail. He's going to pardon anybody. I will say this, if the Democrats take the House and the Senate, they will be busy. They would be busy full time just going after all the corruption in this administration. They wouldn't have time to do anything else if they went after all the corruption in this administration. And it gets pushed to the back of the closet because we have, breaking news every day that is terrible. So we don't focus on the level of corruption. But believe me, inside this administration, they know about it. I mean, you go to prison, you pay somebody $1 million, you get out of prison and you're pardoned. They're paying Mike Flynn, who pled guilty to a felony. They're paying him for that now with our tax dollars. They're giving him money at the Department of Justice because he pled guilty for something. It's just unbelievable. So it's not shocking this is going on. The question is, couldn't these people be put in prison for doing this? And hopefully they can, if we can get past the pardon Lollapalooza that is the Trump White House.
What's amazing, Shelby, is that they barely deny it, right? It's almost like Trump's articulation in 2015 in the Republican primaries when he refused to turn over his taxes. Like, why would I? But this will end, and you won't always have a Justice Department populated by his stooges. What is the legal exposure for people who could be engaged in this based on the Journal's reporting?
I can't answer the question about legal exposure. I do think there's a lot of sketchy stuff going on that needs to be looked at, and I think the polymarket betting is just one piece of it. You can also look at energy markets. You can look at defense companies. You can look at all of the things that could be potentially manipulated by a war like this, where the U.S. is burning a bunch of munitions, dropping thousands and thousands of bombs. All those things will need to be replenished. People who knew about this ahead of time likely knew that that would be the case and that, it might be a nice time to invest in certain defense companies that make Patriot interceptors. So I think it's definitely a good question. Claire is right. There's so much to cover. There's so much to talk about. This is just almost something we pay attention to on the side. But yes, major implications for this. And the question is, should we even be able to bet on military operations in the first place? How unethical and disgusting does that seem?
Very.
I can't imagine that changing soon, but hopefully someday.
Because the Republicans are in control?
I just don't think there's a lot of pushback on it. Yeah, nobody's challenging it.
How do the men and women of the military feel, would you guess, General, about being pawns in bets?
Nicole, they're disgusted. They're disgusted by it, as I am. I mean, the hallmark of this administration is arrogance and ignorance, and might throw in there corruption, because there's so much that they do that is so corrupt and it's so wrong. I mean, American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines might very well be dying in places like Iran and Kharg Island and whatnot. But Trump and his cronies are happy because they can make money on the stock market or crypto bets or whatever. You know, Americans are going to pay more at the gas pumps so that Trump and his rich buddies can get richer. It's pretty sad. American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines like me, former members of the military like me, are truly disgusted by what's going on, and that's why we really want to see something change.
It's absolutely, it's a shocking, it's a shocking story, and it's shocking what you said, Claire, and what you said, Shelby, that we treat it sort of as a second story. It's incredible.